Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have a discussion on the upcoming transit of the planet Sun, which on August 17th is going to be entering the sign of Leo, its own sign. So friends, definitely the transit of the Sun is a monthly event, but every year the way other planets contribute towards that area varies. And during this year, as you can see, that the moment Sun is going to enter the sign of Leo, it's going to receive the aspect from the planet Mars, from the Taurus sign, from the Rahu, which is transiting in the Aries sign. So how we can understand this movement of Sun during this year when it's going to be gaining its complete dignity in the transit, that is something which we will try to understand in this video. So okay friends, before we will shift to the customized results, let's just first try to understand a little bit about this movement. So now friends, definitely Sun is a planet which becomes important for all of us. Sun is the significator of our soul. Sun is the significator of the kind of nourishment which we have received from our parents, and our relationship with the government, favors from the government, how we get along with the prominent people in the society, our prospects of gaining fame and recognition. So all of that we see from the position of Sun in Vedic astrology. I always say this thing friends, whenever we talk about even in the creative field as well. So definitely Mercury can make you very skilled, Venus can give you very artistic creative bent of mind, but when we talk about doing something completely original in your given field, so that is something which we generally associate with the planet Sun, because it's the light generated by Sun only which other planets reflect and influence our life. Now friends, I also mentioned this thing a lot many times. People have asked me this question, that where my talent lies in this lifetime. So basis your rising sign, wheresoever the zodiac sign falls, they bring out the certain peculiar qualities which those signs represent. So Leo is the original sign of talent, of recognition. So trust me, it hardly matters in which dignity Sun is placed in your chart, whatever your rising sign is, wheresoever Leo sign falls in your chart, trust me, you have certain sort of talents pertaining to the matters of that house. So now friends, when we talk about the transit of the planet Sun, so definitely Sun's transit is not as like long lasting as other slow moving planets, like when we talk about Jupiter or Saturn or Rahu and Ketu. But even in its 1 month transit, Sun holds this potential to give you heightened sense of confidence, ambition. And it's not only that, even if Sun is going to be transiting over your some important natal planets, so it can also activate the signification of those planets as well. And definitely friends, the Sun's transit becomes more important for all those people in whose case, if you are working in any domain which demands lot of fame, lot of recognition, or you are working in a field where you are on a top management, top leadership role, or you on a consistent basis work with the government or for the government. So in all those cases, this transit becomes important for you. Also, let's say for example, because within the Leo sign as well, there are the 3 nakshatras of Ketu, of Venus, and of Sun. So as you can see that within the Leo, we have the energy of the Magha, Purva Falguni and Uttara Falguni. So because of which, even if you are going through the dasha of whether Sun, Ketu, Venus or Sun in itself, so this transit will become very important for you. And lastly friends, just because I mentioned this thing that during this year Sun is going to be receiving the aspect from the Rahu and the Mars, so it all comes down to in which dignity Sun is placed in your chart and what is your individual nature. Because if in its strong dignity, Sun can give you confidence, Sun can give you fame, so in its negative aspect, Sun can actually give you heightened sense of ego as well. And over there, because the contribution is coming in from the Mars, which can give rise to anger as well, contribution is coming in from the Rahu as well, which can add to the stubbornness as well. So over there you have to remain little bit cautious the way you execute your authority or the way you gonna plan your life during this time. Now friends, talking from the perspective of the planetary conjunction during this year's stay of Sun in the Leo sign. So for the first 4 days, Sun is going to be conjunct with Mercury in the Leo sign, which can be seen as a very good sign. The heightened sense of confidence of Sun is going to get exerted with the right set of communication and discriminatory intelligence as well. And then on August 30th, at the end of this month, Venus is also going to transit to the Leo sign, and it's going to get conjunct with Sun. So that can be seen as a very good time for the prospects of art, creativity, recognition, or remaining lucky in establishing connections with the prominent people in your area of influence. So this is how we can relate the planetary conjunction contributing to this year's Sun's transit to its own sign. And also friends, because during this time only we will be celebrating or witnessing the Pitru Paksh as well. And I still remember at the time when I uploaded this video on the Pitru Dosh on my playlist. So a lot many people were asking me that what could be the right way of, if I have a Pitru Dosh in my chart, what can I do to appease it? What can I do to fix it? So Pitru Paksh is a time when you can propitiate or pray to your ancestors or your Kul Devta, your family god, your family goddesses, whomsoever the generation within your family have prayed or have seek refuge. So you can consider praying or worshipping your Kul Devta, and along with that the worship of the Sun can also be considered as a good way of propitiating or appeasing the Pitra Dosha in your chart. I'm not talking more about the Shrad and the kind of typical Hindu rituals which we follow, because I will be making a separate video on that, but just for my Western audience and in general for the basic understanding, like the way in West people talk about my guardian angel. So trust me, guardian angel from our Hindu or Vedic or Sanatan Dharma perspective can be understood or can be related with our family gods or the Kul Devtas only, who are the protector of their own children and their own family ties within over here. So okay friends, now we will shift our discussion to the customized results. So starting first with the Aries Lagna people. So definitely friends, in your case Sun becomes a very important planet because it has got the rulership of your 5th house, of your intellect, of your academics, of your progeny. So Sun's entry in the 5th house will definitely prosper or facilitate all the matters of your 5th house. First of all friends, because during this time your ascendant lord is also going to be giving aspect to the your 5th house lord Sun as well. So during this time, if you are contemplating any important changes at your professional work front as well, so you can consider doing that if your ongoing dashas are also supporting that, because 5th house is the 8th house from the 10th house. And also friends, for all those people who are a strong contender for any position, any promotion, any recognition, if that is getting qualified in your case, you can also get benefited. And I always say this thing that Sun's transit in the 5th house is a very good time that if you want to initiate something, you want to launch any product or any projects where the pomp and show, recognition, marketing, establishing your business, your product, if that is getting qualified, so this can be seen as a very good time period where you can consider doing all those activities. And also friends, it's not only about you only, all of our family members charts are interconnected with each other. So let's say for example, if your son or your progeny has to appear in any of the important exam, competitive exam, or you're looking forward to a match for your children or something like that, so you can succeed in all those areas as well. So overall friends, a very auspicious time for religious, spiritual austerities, mantra chanting, or like the way we always say this thing that all sort of spiritual activities are generally attached with the 5th house. So many times there are those habits and good spiritual habits which are always there in the back of the mind, and we are always looking forward to the right time or right moment to initiate that. So trust me, if you want to initiate some practice of this, could be as simple as doing the yoga in the morning, or visiting church or temple or mosque, or starting to do specific prayers And if that is there in the back of your mind, so once sun is going to transit to the Leo sign, to your 5th house, that can be seen as a very good time to inculcate those spiritual practices. And also friends, very good time for all those people who are students, have to appear in any sort of competitive exam, and for all those people who are in love, relationship and all of that, so good time period for them as well. The only thing is that friends, because the way your rising sign in itself represents impulse, little bit of the heightened sense of energy, and during this time Rahu is aspecting sun, Mars is aspecting sun, so it becomes very important that you should not act out of headstrongness or egoism or too much of the arrogance, which can actually spoil your relations around you. And also friends, for all those people who are working in the fields of stock market, speculation, investment banking and all of that, so all those people can also get benefited, because you cannot overlook this fact that from over here sun is going to be aspecting your 11th house of income, and Mars, your ascendant lord, is also transiting in your 2nd house of finances. So very promising time you guys are running for some important financial decision making, financial gains, financial strategic planning and all of that. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Taurus rising people, so now friends, in your case, as you can see, sun is going to be gaining strength right over there in your 4th house. So now friends, sun's transit, which is a mild malefic in nature, is not considered as very harmonious for your emotional mental health well-being in the 4th house. So on your emotional mental health well-being plane, I would say that discipline, contemplation, self-reflection becomes very important. And during this time, because Mars is going to be aspecting it right over there from your 1st house, and Rahu aspecting it from your 12th house, so in the matters of your family life, try not to act out of arrogance or egoism, headstrongness, only if you can work on that area. Now comes the beautiful aspect of this 4th house, transit of sun. So definitely friends, like for all those people who work in the real estate industry or anything to do with the buying and selling of vehicles, luxury goods, cosmetics, perfumes and all of that, so all those people can get benefited. Definitely friends, at the end of the day, it hardly matters which house a planet transit, as long as a planet, if it is transiting in its own house, in its own sign, it only brings out the good qualities of that house. So definitely friends, sun is the actual significator of recognition, of fame. So its entry in the 4th house can actually bring all sort of recognition, specifically if you're also engaged in the business prospects connected with the 4th house. So for all the realtors, people working in the interior decor firms and industry can actually get benefited, rewarded, and most importantly, all of your hard work will come to everyone's notice. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Gemini rising people, so now guys, in your case, sun is going to be transiting to your 3rd house. So definitely friends, 3rd house is one of the Upachya bhav. It is the house of our efforts, our initiatives, our communication, our influence. So because of which friends, I can fairly see that all the initiatives taken by you can actually pave some very good returns. And also friends, all those people who are connected with the fields of sales, media, marketing, freelance people, self-employed people, all the performing artists and all of that, so very good time when sun is transiting from your 3rd house. The beautiful aspect of the transit of sun in the 3rd house is that you might also remain lucky in establishing connections and contacts with prominent people as well. So overall friends, the only one thing which I want to say over here is that with this transit, try not to waste your time in frivolousness or wasteful activities. Engage in those kind of dignified actions which can pave path towards success, recognition in your life. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Cancer rising people, so definitely friends, in your case, sun is going to be gaining strength right over there in your 2nd house, which can be seen as a very good sign. And also friends, because this time your Mars, your Yog Karaka planet, is also going to be aspecting transiting sun from a very auspicious house. So overall the planetary signification is indicating some very good financial rewards and returns. Now again friends, all these signification gets more qualified for the self-employed people, people who have their own business. I always say this thing, it's not gonna happen that after watching a transit video you're gonna go to your boss if you are in a job and ask for a double salary next month. So it does not happen like that. It's just like that all those people who are in their own business and you are working hard, and in your nature of work there is a kind of a uncertainty. Some months you make more money, some months are they do not turn out to be as good, as lucky as the previous months were. So when in the transit these kind of alignments take place, so if your ongoing dashas are also running favorable, so all those people can surely get benefited. And also friends, because as per the work of K.N. Rao sir, who have mentioned or attached second house as the people who work with a specific mission in their life, who are so much dedicated, devoted towards any specific cause. So let's say for example, if that is getting qualified in your case, you are wholeheartedly engaged and dedicated, devoted to a specific field. So all of the hard work done by you can give you some sort of recognition or good gains in the financial matters. And let's say for example, even in your financial undertakings, because of the support of some prominent people or prominent and recognized person, there could be some financial breakthrough. Because sometimes what happens is that these days a lot of the businesses operates on goodwill basis, on your networking basis. So if in your business those sort of references plays a pivotal role, so all those people can get benefited. And lastly friends, if you are actually engaged in the fields connected with the sun, you are a politician or you are on a top leadership or you deal with any of the sun related fields, so all those people can get benefited during this time with the entry of sun in your second house. The only concern is that friends, your speech should not sound very egoistic, very pompous, over the top, pompous. So only if you can work on that area. And also friends, like when we talk about the concerns of, like if you're going through any of the concerns of eyesight related problem, the eyesight or headache, migraine, blood pressure, so over there as well you have to remain a little bit cautious. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Leo rising people, so definitely friends, sun, your ascendant lord, is going to be gaining strength right over there in your first house. So very good time for the enhancement of reputation, recognition. The only one thing friends which I want to say is that whenever the planets align this way in the transit, that in itself means that people are looking at you with lot of expectations, lot of hope. If your ongoing dashas are also running favorable, so that in itself means that blending it with the transit results that you are a very strong contender for any prospect of recognition. So planets are hard bent to bestow something good to you, but are you also working in that direction or not? Do you have that ambition, those aspirations, and you're working hard or not? So it all comes down to that. But definitely friends, in general, in a nutshell, specifically all those people who have their own business, who are in top management, top leadership roles, or your nature of work involves anything to do with the favors from the government, favors from the prominent people, or even let's say for example during this time if you have to appear in any competitive exam, you have to give any performances and all of that, so very auspicious time which the Leo rising people are gonna witness. One thing friends, during this time if you are already going through the concerns of the eyesight related problems or blood pressure related problems or a headache, migraine, so over there you have to remain a little bit cautious, little bit concerned and careful. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Virgo rising people, so definitely friends, in your case sun is going to be gaining strength right over there in your 12th house. So definitely friends, honestly speaking, 12th house is the house of the expenses and the religious and the spiritual austerity. So let's talk about the spiritual and religious austerity. So friends, sun is the actual significator or karaka of your soul. If that soul elevation is very important aspect for you, and friends, you cannot even overlook this fact that right now Saturn, your very important planet, is also transiting in your 5th house, which is the house of the religious and spiritual austerity as well, the mantra sadhana as well. So I would say that if the religious and spiritual austerity becomes very important for you, so very good time. You're already working or engaged in any of the foreign businesses, you are working on any research or any innovative sciences and all of that, you are very strongly engaged in any sort of exploration and all of of that. So you might make a breakthrough during this time when sun is transiting from your 12th house. Now friends, I will be very honest with you. When sun transits the 12th house, regarding the expense perspective, definitely many times I have seen people who goes overboard in their extravaganza, in shopping on expensive things and things of pomp and show. So I would say that it can be seen as a very good time that, okay, if planet is demanding something out of you, so you have to think about a good alternative of releasing that energy and justifying that planetary entry in that specific house of yours. So I would say that any charities, any donations, and specifically because very soon we will be witnessing the Pitru Paksh as well. So any charities, any donations on the name of your Ish Devta, your Kul Devta can be seen as a very good way of channelizing the energy of this sun's transit or entry in your 12th house. And definitely friends, at the end of the day, sun is going to be transiting in its own house. So if you are already engaged in the matters of the 12th house as a part of your profession, as a part of your actions and activities, so recognition can also come during this transit of sun in your 12th house. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Libra rising people, so definitely friends, in your case, a very glorified time which you guys are going to be witnessing, because sun is going to be transiting in your 11th house of income, 11th house of popularity and recognition and networking. So definitely friends, it all comes down to that in which field you are currently engaged in. Trust me, if in your line of work, giving presentation, followership, acceptance, meeting very prominent people, or having an active social life is an integral part of your line of work, of your aspirations, and if you're also going through the favorable dashas as well, so during this time some very big deal can get through, can click you. Some important person might play a very pivotal role in connecting you with lot many financial opportunities. And also friends, I always say this thing that if you are in any sort of that business which demands lot of recognition, lot of popularity, so this can be seen as a very promising time for you to brand yourself, to market yourself, to do or spend lot of energies or little bit sort of money as well in your promotion, in your marketing. So overall friends, good transit for all the Libra rising people. And let's say for example, if you're already engaged in any field, you have been working hard and you are awaiting any returns, any recognition, next level promotion, so all those things can also get materialized during this entry of sun in your 11th house. Now friends, for the Scorpio rising people, so definitely friends, in your case, as you can see, sun is going to be empowering the prospects of your 10th house, which can be seen as a very good sign. So let's say for example, in whichever field you are currently engaged in, during this time you can get rewarded for all of your hard work. A very good time for all the politicians, all those people working for the government or with the government, or anything to do with the artistic or creative fields as well. And also friends, because right now in the transit, your ascendant lord is also gaining strength in the 7th house. And as you know this thing that all these specifically angular houses, and out of the angular houses, the 7th house and the 10th house, these are the two houses which governs our public image, our public duties, our actions, our activities in the broad daylight. So whatsoever happens in the matters of the 7th house and the 10th house, you cannot hide it from the world. You can hide the signification of the 8th house, 12th house, 4th house, but your actions in the 7th house and 10th house are always in the public eye. So I would say friends, a very good time because of the way the whole transit is influencing you. So a very good time for having a active social life, outdoor life, launching a product, asking for a raise, asking for the favors. And trust me, if you have been honestly, diligently working hard, good recognition can come during this time. Just try to refrain from acting out of egoism, because as you can see, sun receiving aspect from Rahu and the influence of your ascendant lord, the planet which represents energy, aggression a little bit. So only if you can refrain from acting out of egoism. So trust me, remain focused on your goals, and a very good time for all the Scorpio rising people, a time of recognition and fame. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Sagittarius rising people. So now friends, in your case, as you can fairly see, that sun is going to be glorifying and empowering the prospects of your ninth house, which can be seen as a very good sign for religious austerity, for luck supporting you during this month in all of your actions, in all of your activities. Like let's say for example, many times I get the mail from the business connected people, specifically all those people who have to take important business related travels, like you are traveling to China, you're traveling to India, and a lot will be dependent on the vendor you will find, or the way the whole custom clearance, everything is gonna get finalized and everything. So trust me, those are the times when people want to make sure that at the time when they are embarking on that journey, omens and the nakshatra and the muhurta, everything has to be in line, in place. So same way friends, like this is going to be a time when all the travels taken by you will prove to be very profitable. Luck is supporting you, your guardian angel, your kul devta is going to be supporting you. And for all those people who are connected with the fields of banking, teaching, counseling, law, all those people can also get benefited. And also friends, one more thing which I want to add over here is that, see, why you are listening to this video and not just reading it in any Google account or Google page, because you know that it's a every monthly phenomena, results are gonna be same. No, it varies because the way other planets are contributing this year. So as you can see friends, this year not only this transiting sun is receiving the aspect from the Rahu and the Mars, but also your ascendant lord is also in a very strong dignity, transiting in a very auspicious house like 4th house, where in the original Kalpurush Kundli Jupiter attains exaltation. So trust me friends, it is a very good time for you. Like if you have any sort of Pitra dosha in your chart or in your family, there are some major important events or like tasks which are struck for long. So during this time, once sun is transiting in your like 9th house, and from September 10th Pitr Paksh will begin. So I would say propitiating, worshipping your Kul Devta, Kul Devi, or organizing any religious retreat or puja or part at your home, or becoming or being a part of any religious event during this time will definitely help you prosper, and the blessings of the divine of your Kul Devta will definitely help you in all the major undertakings of your life. So overall friends, a very good time for all the Sagittarius rising people. And if you are also going through some supporting dasha, so definitely luck is gonna support you in all of your undertakings. Moving ahead friends, now for all the Capricorn rising people. So now friends, in your case, sun is going to be transiting from your 8th house. So now friends, honestly speaking, the transit of planets from the 8th house many times creates a very sensitive energy. So if you are already engaged in the matters of the 8th house, then you can actually get benefited, because friends, 8th house, see, my whole life, my whole personality, all of my planets, they operate from the 8th house only. So it just like that, it all comes down to in which dignity this house is activated in your life and what role it is playing. Trust me, 8th house is a house that you cannot say that I do not know, because if you are a sufferer of the 8th house, your life will be filled with scandals, entanglements, wrong decision making, all sort of upheavals. And if 8th house energy is working in a benefic way in your life, trust me, you will be inclined towards adhyatma, towards occult sciences, unpredictable sudden windfall of gains, and a healthy positive transformation. So the signification of 8th house is something, if you are prominently ruled by this house, the outcome is gonna be intensely positive or negative. It's not gonna be a mediocre outcome. So the point which I'm trying to say over here is that if you are engaged in the 8th house related prospects of being engaged in research, in occult sciences, connected with the fields of insurance, revenue, and you are going through supporting dasha, so all the hard work which you are putting in can actually give some good rewards or recognition. And trust me friends, whatsoever comes out of the 8th house, whether the financial gain, whether the some sort of speculative gains or recognition, that always comes out in a very sudden, intense way. So all those things can also materialize, take place. The only vulnerability is that in the matters of the health. So over during this time, sun, which increases the pith element, the fire element within the body, and because it is going to be receiving the aspect from the Mars as well and Rahu as well, so give good attention towards your health, body vitality, and the recitation of the Aditya Hridaya Stotram, or like Ram Raksha Stotram, Surya Ashtakam, offering water to the rising sun, can be seen as a good way of channelizing the energy of this transit of sun in your 8th house. Now friends, for all the Aquarius rising people, so now friends, in your case, sun is going to be transiting from your 7th house. Now friends, although sun is going to be gaining dignity, being in its own sign, being in its own house, but friends, whenever we talk about the 7th house, it is a very sensitive placement, because in the original Kalpurush Kundli, sun attains debilitation over here, and sun is always, like, if you will find sun to be gaining strength in the 7th house, even after that there is an inner turmoil which is always happening, where no matter the person is still sitting in the throne, in the top position, but deep inside his ego is not getting satisfied, or he's just trying to prove his point or prove his mettle. So just refrain from acting out of egoism or impulse or aggression. That's one thing. Second thing is that friends, definitely this is the actual house of commerce, trade and business, of your public image. So regarding the recognition aspect, regarding the financial gain perspective, like landing some lucrative deal, or because of the support of some prominent person, gaining in your business, or if you are an artist or a creative person, or working in the fields of technology, research, exploration, getting rewarded for all of your hard work, all those things can still materialize. But there is always a red flag whenever sun transits from the 7th house, that you have to stay grounded, stay humble, and work on your ego related concerns. And lastly friends, for all the Pisces rising people, so now friends, in your case, sun is going to be gaining strength in your 6th house. So now friends, 6th house is one of the Upachya Bhav, where the transit of the mild malefic planets are always considered as auspicious. So definitely friends, in your line of work, whatsoever hard work you have been putting in, you will get the due recognition for all the hard work you are putting in. Also friends, if you also have some important planets placed in your 6th house, sun's transit over it will definitely activate those planets as well. So heightened sense of confidence, a good time for all those people who have to appear in any sort of competitive exam, and within your daily work environment as well. If your dashas are running favorable, you have been working hard, you are a person who's very meticulous, who's very calculative, you take all of your decision with complete calculation. So trust me, this transit of sun in your 6th house might make you a favorite of your boss, or will give you the recognition of all the hard work which you have been putting in. Also friends, we cannot even overlook this fact that right now in your case, Saturn is transiting in your 11th house. After that, see, whether it's your moon sign or not, but Saturn's transit in the 12th house, whether from the Lagna or the moon sign, is always a matter of concern. So you are actually going through very good time, because Saturn's transit in the 11th house from the Lagna as well give rise to, or can support, manifestation of big dreams. So it all comes down to how much hard work you are putting in and how serious you are towards the attainment of your goals. So overall friends, in a nutshell, sun's transit in the 6th house can be seen as a very good news for getting the due recognition for all the hard work which you are putting in. Good time for people who have to appear in any sort of competitive exam, people connected with the service industry, fitness industry, health, food industry. And lastly friends, as you know that 6th house at the end of the day is the house of the conflict and health related concerns. So the only one thing which I want to say over here is that rather than falling prey to this vulnerable side, try to be on the winning side of this entry of sun in your 6th house. 6th house is also the house of our health and fitness. So let's say for example, if for long you have been contemplating to establish a new health fitness related lifestyle activity, or experiment with a new diet plan or something like that, so that can be seen as a very good way of channelizing the energy of this transit of sun right over there in your 6th house. And also friends, in your case, doing the certain remedies also become equally important. So if you can just appreciate the rising sun and ensure to wake up before the sunrise, and just recitation of the Aditya Hridaya Stotram, Suryashtakam or Ram Raksha Stotram, and offering water to the rising sun from a copper utensil. And you can also put little bit of the good or a jaggery, piece of jaggery in it while offering water to the rising sun. So these are the kind of practices which you can follow to ensure getting rewarded or benefited with this transit of sun in your 6th house, the house of your health, your fitness and your daily work related activities. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs for this upcoming transit of sun in the Leo sign for all the rising signs. For furthermore updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Guys, before I will sign out, I will show you the rising sun as well. So because this video has been devoted to the planet sun, so let's look at the